As a golf coach, I always want to tell people what they do need to do in the golf swing. But today I'm going to slightly reverse that. And we're going to be talking about the don'ts, what you don't want to do in the golf swing, or what you definitely don't want to think about, especially do in the golf swing. Don't number one, do not keep your head down. So many people out there tell your playing partners, your opponents even, to keep their head down. They feel like they hit bad golf shots because you're not keeping your head down. No, I'm keeping my head down. I'm missing the ball, topping the ball. I'm keeping my head down. Why is this such a bad piece of advice, and why don't you want to do it? Because the problem is keeping your head down inhibits the turn of the swing. We don't want to allow or stop the turn of the swing. We want to allow the turn of the body to occur. We want to turn our way through towards a target. What we don't want to do is keep our head down, which just completely limits our turn and makes getting the club down to the ground, therefore down to the ball, that little bit trickier. Don't keep your head down. Don't number two, don't keep your arms absolutely stiff as anything. Don't get me wrong. Yes, straighter arms massively help. And yes, don't get me wrong, they're a lot better than doing this on the way through. That's going to be a nightmare for us. We're never going to get the club down to the ground. But what we don't want to do is keep our arms absolutely poker stiff. We need to allow some relaxation in the arms to let the club do what it wants to do. And we can't do that if we're trying to keep every little muscle and joint absolutely rigid, stiff in the golf swing. Remember, if we keep our arms stiff, again, we're going to struggle to get the club down to the ground and therefore the ball up in the air. It's just not going to work. We need to keep everything loose. Yes, straightish arms, but feel like it's more, if anything, more relaxed as opposed to anything. To get that club down to the ground and therefore get that ball up in the air. Don't number three, don't slow the swing down. I've seen so many golfers out there think to themselves, hang on, we need to control the club. We need to control that club, which usually equates to slowing the swing down. We do not want to slow the swing down because the problem is that equates to guiding the club towards the ball, which again usually means in any sort of shot. It could mean a right, a left, a low, could mean any sort of shot going. If we try and control or guide, even worse, guide that club towards that golf ball, we need to let that golf club do its work for us. This was designed to be an angle. It was designed with a big heavy lump of metal on the end of a stick, and it was designed with some loft. It does the work for us. We do not need to guide the club down to the ball. At best case scenario, it's going to help us hit less distance, but therefore give us more margin for error. But even then, that's going to on a slippery slope to unfortunate golfing relegation. We need to make sure that if anything, we're letting the golf club do its work for us. If we try and slow it down and therefore guide the club to the ball, we're never going to let that club do what it needs to do. So remember, let the club do the work. Don't slow the swing down. Don't guide it towards that golf ball. Hope these don'ts really make sense. Hope they really make sense. But that's the key. We've got to make sure that we're thinking about the right things, not thinking about the things that we don't need to think about. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment below. Let me know how you're getting on for me, please.